Jesus Cristo!
Hey y'all,
What's up, y'all?
I'm Elise,
And I'm Will.
and this is
Team
Tatum.
What movie are we reviewing today?
Italian Spiderman. You get it if you saw it.
So this is our first recommended. No, it's not recommended. Suggested. That's the word.
Same thing to me. I really never knew.
No, because a recommendation is like.
You can't tell me what I knew.
All right. This is our first suggested movie review. It is not on the list, so know that we already said that in a previous video. But it was so much of an experience. We were like, yeah, we'll put it on the channel. So shout out Esteban979 for this suggestion.
Also check him out. He has an amazing gaming channel on YouTube and Twitch.
Yes.
I said words right.
We'll put the link in the description below. So quick backstory of how we got to this movie is we were over a friend's house for dinner, and his kids wanted to watch the newest Spider-Man movie. So he pulled up his little streaming service, and he was searching, and instead of typing No Way Home, he started typing Spider-Man. So of course, 80 things
Spider-Man
came
ever
up.
made.
On a little drop down list, and on that list was Italian Spider-Man, and we were like, what's that? And only we were interested because he just scrolled right past it. He was just like,
not what I'm looking for.
not what I'm looking for. So we made a mental note, and when we got home later that night, we found Italian Spider-Man and watched it.
It was the best decision we ever made in our lives.
The best decision. Outside of marrying each other, love.
Obvious.
Yes.
Showing them dogs.
Showing them dogs. So this is a surprisingly 2007 movie. If you watch it, you would swear it could have been made back in the day.
Yeah, in the 70s or something.
Yeah, like 70s, around that time.
Late 60s.
But no, completely 2007. And it was written and directed by like two guys, and one of them being the main character, Italian Spider-Man. And you may be asking yourself, what is an Italian Spider-Man? Same thing we were asking, but spoiler alert, it's not what you think.
It's definitely not Spider-Man in Italian.
Right. We thought it was some Italian knockoff. You know how, like, if you go on like Tubi or Pluto TV, you'll see movies that are clearly based off of other movies, like it's Harry Potter, but it's not Harry Potter. It'll be like, John Claymore or something like that. Like, that'll be his name, but clearly it's supposed to be Harry Potter. Potter, Claymore. You get it.
I didn't get it, but we'll just keep going.
Boo. But yeah, it's not one of those movies. This is, other than the fact that his name is Italian Spider-Man, has nothing to do with Spider-Man whatsoever.
At all.
So the synopsis is Italian Spider-Man is tasked, like every other superhero, with saving the world. Like, the fate of the world is on his shoulders. And then he has a nemesis. He has a nemesis. They always do. They have to fight, and boom. Classic superhero story, but ridiculous. A better synopsis of this movie is, what if Black Dynamite, Nacho Libre, and the James Bond films had a baby?
Very accurate.
That's what this movie is. You may be like, what?
How do those fit in?
Watch the movie.
Italian Spider-Man is how they fit in.
Yeah. Now, for those who may be like, I'll never watch this movie, it's only 37 minutes. It's a short film. It's not even a full film. It's a short film. It's only 37 minutes of your time. Most TV nowadays is like 50 minutes.
All right.
You can put in 37 minutes. And
watch it on your lunch break.
Yeah, watch it on your lunch break. And we want to know your comments. We want to know how you feel. If you hate us for it, write it down below. If you love us for it, write it down below. We don't care. We just want to know how this movie was to you.
How it changed your life for the better.
Yeah,
because it will.
Because that's why Esteban suggested it, because we basically put it out there like, man, this movie's ridiculous. And he was like, I'll check it out. And it was like, you guys should definitely do a review of this movie. And here we are.
Here we are. Look at us.
Look at us. Look at us. So yeah, you want to do what the movie is about? This is spoiler zone right now. So if you haven't watched the movie yet, go spend your 37 minutes, watch the movie, come back. So
Warning, spoilers ahead. So it starts out at a poker game between Black Dynamite and Captain Maximum. Well, I
Black
said Black
Dynamite.
Dynamite. How about you tell what happened?
So starts off with a poker game between Italian Spider-Man and random guy with eye patch or villain with eye patch.
Sure was.
Actually, it wasn't even a poker game. It was blackjack. It was blackjack, yeah. But they had poker chips. Anyway, I guess you do have chips.
It was
Casino chips. Anywho, so they're playing blackjack, and Italian Spider-Man is winning. That's the context that we get. So now the eye patch guy is like, let's play another hand. You seem to be pretty good at blackjack, but let's raise the stakes. How about your life? And pulls out a revolver or whatever. And so the two guys get their cards. Bad guy pulls over his cards. He's got 21. He's like, sucks for you, Italian Spider-Man. And points the gun at him. Italian Spider-Man's like, but wait. Flips over his cards. He too has blackjack, except his ace is a jack and an ace. But his ace is a spider, like the same little spider symbol that's on his chest. First of all, let's get with his look. So Italian Spider-Man looks like a portly white man with long hair. Well, not long hair, but like down to his shoulders.
It's long.
Well, I wanted to make it like it was like past his shoulders. And he's got on a red long sleeve T-shirt with a black, crudely drawn spider symbol on it that's like crooked, kind of like Scarlet Spider's emblem. For those of you who know anything about Spider-Man, then he has a Zorro mask, a Mario mustache,
Super Mario mustache,
and
some ill-fitted
black
slacks.
yeah, and black shoes, and then black like gloves or whatever. That's his costume.
Homemade.
And so he pulls down his blackjack and then flips the table and has a shotgun and like blasts everybody. And the title card comes up, Italian Spider-Man. So then he proceeds to just shoot everyone with this like sawed-off shotgun that has unlimited bullets, as great action movies do. And one of the guys who had the drop on Italian Spider-Man because he was behind him and had a gun, for whatever reason, took his time. Italian Spider-Man, no, wait. He doesn't shoot him. This other guy breaks a chair over his back and then waits for him. And Italian Spider-Man is like, ugh. For the longest time. Anybody could have shot him at this point. He Dragon Ball Z powering up, grabs a bottle of liquor, turns around and hits the guy. Not even the guy that hit him with the chair, but the guy that had the drop on him for the longest. And, fake blood comes out his eyes. He's like, ah. And, I mean.
Look like strawberry jam.
Yeah. At this point, you're like, yeah, this movie. I'm going to enjoy this movie. At this point, you're either going to keep watching or turn it off. For us, it was definitely keep watching. Mm-hmm. For a lot of people, it's probably going to be like, I'm not watching this. Click.
We like purposefully
bad.
Yeah, I was about to say stupid, but it wasn't even a stupid movie. It wasn't
stupid.
Purposefully bad movies.
It's a thin line you have to walk to be able to pull it off. But when it's purposefully bad, we
eat it up.
We love it. It's the ridiculousness of that's what makes it fun, entertaining. It's just like, who thought of this?
Yeah.
And why does it work? But anyway, so he goes through killing everybody, escaping, and goes to choke the eye patch guy who didn't get killed from the initial shotgun blast. I don't know how, but hems him up against the wall, starts choking him, and then rips off his face. But it's not a face, it's a mask.
A Mission Impossible mask.
Yeah, Mission Impossible mask. And underneath that mask is surprisingly another mask. What kind of mask, you ask? A luchador mask. That's right. This is Italian Spider-Man with luchador mask. Now, maybe luchadors exist in Italian culture. I may be ignorant. I thought it was only Mexican culture, but yeah, luchador mask guy, and his name is Captain Maximoff. No, Maximum. Captain Maximum. And once it's revealed that it's Captain Maximum, Italian Spider-Man lets us know what his name is. He turns into snakes, like poof, magic. David Blaine, snakes. Italian
Captain
Spider-Man.
Maximum turned into snakes.
So Italian Spider-Man drops the snakes and then takes off running, goes up to the top of the building, leaps off, and you think this is where the Spider-Man part comes in. No, he just
jumped
aims
off
for the bushes. And the bad guys look down, and he's alive and well. Now, they're up there. There's at least 5 stories that he jumps from. But he's safely on a motorcycle down on the ground, looks up at him, and drives off. That's the opening scene. First 2 minutes of the movie. So then we go to the party.
Word.
You not gonna talk about the party?
No, I just want to comment.
All right. So it's
I've lost my.
It's your classic like 70s, 60s, whatever party. Like people are drugged out, dancing or whatever. You know, getting a hippie on and all of that. And there's a guy, as always back in that day, in a Speedo, dancing. Everybody else has got clothes on.
Fully
He's
clothed.
probably high off cocaine.
I don't even think it was a pool there that I remember.
No, it was a pool.
Oh.
It was a pool there. But yeah, nobody else is just for this pool. And he's dancing or whatever, and then goes over to his buddies.
He said, "I bet you'll never have your face between breasts like those," and pointed at this woman at the pool table.
Yeah, and so the guy's like, "You want to bet?" Goes over, smacks the girl on the booty. She turns around, slaps him. The guys laugh. He goes back to his buddies. Speedo guy's like, "Let me show you how it's done." Goes up to old girl, also slaps her on the butt, except he goes,
The exact sound.
Not an exaggeration. For that long and that sound. And she waits for him to get it out, turns around, grabs a bottle, and also smacks him across the face like Italian Spider-Man did the goon, and the same reaction.
Yeah.
Blood coming out his eyes, turning around. Ah!
His friends laughing at him.
Yeah, his friends laughing at him. He blind. He can't see no more. His friends laughing. So then, also randomly amongst all these people is this random scientist. He's in a lab coat and everything, just dancing. He comes into play later. So, original guy who got slapped goes outside with his girl outside next to the pool, and they're making out
You right.
for like 5 seconds or whatever, and then it shows this meteor falling to Earth. It crashes. Asteroid. Crashing to Earth right by the pool, and it causes an earthquake. You know, camera shaking. Everybody in the party is all or whatever. Then, old boy pushes old girl out of the way just to go, which is a running gag that the first time it's seen, but it is a running gag for the rest of the movie. It's that guy doing that. We love it. So the scientist comes out and was like, "Oh, this is why he was at the party, because he's the only science person." And this asteroid takes it back to his lab and starts doing experiments on it, because that's what people do. And he calls up. Oh no, wait. So then it cuts over to Italian Spider-Man. He's in the bed with like 6 women, a la
Several women.
Black Dynamite style, with no nudity though, no nudity. And leaves the women, goes into the kitchen, and opens the refrigerator, and there's a chicken in there.
A live
chicken, not a rotisserie chicken. Live chicken, flapping wings and everything. Puts the chicken on the counter, and then does this stare. He goes at the chicken. Then it's a close up of the chicken going, and he picks up the chicken, moves it out of the way, and there's an egg. And we're like, "Oh, that's one way to get eggs." But he didn't want the egg. He picks up the egg and is like, "What's this?" Also, the movie is like half Spanish, not Spanish, like Italian, half gibberish, half English. Those numbers didn't add up.
It didn't.
It did. But you get what I'm saying.
You see what he talking about.
So he does it again, and it's the same exact sequence. Like, they reused the same clip, but instead of being an egg, it's a pack of cigarettes. So he's like, that's better.
That's what I like.
And picks up the cigarettes, and it turns into a commercial. Like, there's what's the voiceover guy doing, like, whatever. It was like, Il Gallo, the preferred cigarette of Italian Spider-Man. And he's like, yeah, looking into the camera, completely random. So then the phone rings, and it's the scientist, and he's telling the Italian Spider-Man, he's like, you got to get over here fast. And he's like, all right, whatever. So fast forward, he goes over to the lab, and he's telling him about the asteroid. And he's like, I found this formula inside the asteroid. How you found this out? I don't know. I guess experiments. That's what experiments do. Yeah. But it's this blue, like, liquid, and he puts it into a syringe. He's like, watch this, and puts it into this lab rat. You think it stops there? No, he only puts half of it in there. Then tells his assistant to roll up her sleeve, puts the other half in her. It's like, why would you do that? You have a literal lab rat. Why? You don't even know what this does.
Right. And he used the same syringe.
Yeah, and it was the same syringe. Didn't clean it, nothing, or whatever. So then the lab rat is on the table. It turns into 2 lab rats. It don't split or nothing. It's just another one appears or whatever. And then they look over at the old girl. She's filing her fingernails, unbothered by this whole thing. And another one pops up. She looks at her, and then goes back to filing her fingernails.
And her clone is just like, what's happening?
So then it takes a turn, and the scientist picks up the duplicate rat, puts it in a bag, and you're like, what's he doing with that bag? And then he also picks up a shoe, and then proceeds to beat the lab rat in the bag. And you're like, oh. In the arms of the angel.
And then puts it in his pocket.
And out of his other pocket, pulls out a revolver, turns to the duplicate assistant, pow, just shoots it. And it's like, all right, well, I guess you got to get rid of these clones. You don't want no clone problems. And so then he puts the formula into a briefcase, and he tells Italian Spider-Man, like, you've got to... Did he tell him to take it somewhere?
No, he was just like, I'm giving this to you. You got to protect it at all costs.
Why? First of all, why do we even need this? Second of all, why do I have to protect it? Like, you can't...
Italian Spider-Man.
Like, I can't take it no... Like, there was no game plan of where to take this. Anyway.
And he handcuffed it to him.
Yeah, he handcuffed it to him. Meanwhile, outside, Captain Maximum is listening on this listening device or whatever. Basically a cup, like, up to the wall. And Italian Spider-Man is leaving, and Captain Maximum comes in, and he's like, give me the formula. He was like, I ain't got it. And he was like, you better give me this formula now. Like, everybody gets it. And he was like, Italian Spider-Man got it. He just left 5 seconds ago.
He pulled out a gun. He was like, if you don't tell me, you're dead. Italian Spider-Man got it. Blah, blah, blah.
He drops down real quick. So Italian Spider-Man is, like, walking out of the building, calmly with the briefcase, and then pulls out a little toy motorcycle from his pocket, holds it up to the camera and goes, pow, throws it down on the ground like Ninja Smoke style. The Ducati pops up. He gets on the Ducati, drives off. As that's happening, like right after that happens, rather, I forgot. Let's back up a little bit. After he tells him that Italian Spider-Man has it, he holds up 2 snakes, throws them on the ground, and they turn into henchmen, also with luchador masks, and they're doing this on either side of Captain Maximum. I thought it was funny.
Also, when Captain Maximum was in there with the professor, the scientist, whatever he was called, when the professor told him that he wouldn't help him, Captain Maximum turned the professor into a snake.
Forgot about that part. Yeah, he choked him, and when he choked him, he turned into a snake, and he had a big snake in his hand. So all 3 of them come out. They're looking for Italian Spider-Man. They see him drive off. They're like, there he goes. Turns into this motorcycle chase. The slowest motorcycle chase ever on green screen. But Captain Maximum comes up next to Italian Spider-Man and puts his hand out and starts shooting out snakes. Apparently that's his superpower. It's shooting out space. We've yet to see Italian Spider-Man use any superpowers whatsoever.
Turn motorcycle...
Oh, exactly.
Into a real one
and the whole chicken
poop
thing.
out cigarettes.
So he's throwing snakes. Snakes are just flying. It's just rubber snakes everywhere. Then it's a close-up shot, so you see him like on the strings, like hanging in front of. They just hanging. So he's pop, 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 pop. Judy chopping him, smoking a cigarette. Pop, has not steered this motorcycle at all since the snakes popped up. He just hands-free, karate chopping these snakes, smoking, and then finally looks up and there's a guardrail. Hits the guardrail, big explosion. He doesn't die. He rolls down the hill, and he's limping. And Captain Maximum is slowly the like most Michael Myers motorcycle chase ever, but chases him and basically eventually captures him or whatever. And he wakes up and he's on a beach.
Mm-hmm.
He wakes up and he's on the beach, and there's two lady henchmen over him in bathing suits with machine guns or whatever, or assault rifles. And he's like, yeah. And he sees a third one, and he looks at her, and she's like beautiful or whatever, and he's making his way, the camera's panning down, it's looking down at her thighs and then her feet, and then it goes over, and it
starts from the bottom up, looking at the next person.
Going up, and as it goes up, it's revealed that it's Captain Maximum in a Speedo, and he's like, ugh, Captain Maximum. He's like, where's the asteroid? And he goes, right here. You can win it back like a man. I challenge you to a surfing contest. So Captain Maximum's still wearing his luchador mask. So luchador mask, Speedo, nothing else. They
Italian Spiderman, full outfit.
Outfit. They do this surfing bit. Looks like the Brady Bunch go to Hawaii.
Oh, like on Happy Days.
Happy Days when
jump that shark. You jumped the shark.
So they surfing or whatever, right? And you see two women henchmen with harpoon guns swimming under the water. Now how they're keeping up with these surfboards, I don't know. But they swim underneath water, and then Italian Spider-Man starts winning, and so Captain Maximum.
That was why they came.
Oh, that's why they came. Yeah. So they was surfing. The women haven't showed up yet. He starts to lose. Captain Maximum starts to lose, and he pulls out like this flute and starts playing it through the mask, a la the Green Ranger from Power Rangers. And that's when the women show up underwater, and it doesn't show them come up. It cuts away, and they're on top of Italian Spider-Man surfboard, one in the back, one in the front, and they're up here fighting them with the harpoon guns. So then Italian Spider-Man shows his next superpower, which is apparently the ability to call penguins.
He picked up a conch shell out of the ocean,
just reached down, grabbed the conch shell, blew it, and he goes, penguins! And it cuts to a clip of just like a flock of penguins dropping off into the ocean. And then next thing you know, penguins are just like little toy penguins are flying, like little plush.
Hitting women in
flying
the face.
Up, hitting them in the face, and they just slapping them in the face or whatever. He purposefully falls off the surfboard and starts swimming. They drop their guns. He grabs the guns. He's swimming with the harpoon guns. He gets to the beach, immediately comes up out the water, pow, pow, shoots two of the henchmen women that were already on the beach in the net. Boom, dead. Captain Maximum is surfing past the women, still getting beat up by these penguins. These penguins are relentless. And then he starts to get beat up by the penguins, falls off his surfboard, eventually washes up on shore. Italian Spider-Man has taken the briefcase, and he shows another power, which apparently is the power to fly. So he jumps, and then you see him like Superman, like Christopher Reeve's era Superman, just flying through the sky. No, not even Christopher Reeve. Who was the guy before the black and white Superman? Is that the black and white Superman?
How would you do this to me?
That clip or whatever. And so he lands at his house, and Jessica is there. Forgot about Jessica. Jessica is the
niece of the professor.
The niece of the professor. Oh, forgot one of my favorite bits. Before Italian Spider-Man gets to the professor, he gets to the university where he's at, and there's two guys like in a hallway looking at a girl, and they're catcalling her basically. And Italian Spider-Man pops in the frame, like literally just boop.
That's
Pops.
another one of his superpowers.
That's another one of his superpowers. He just appears. He appears next to the guy, and the guy's like, "Huh," and he goes, "Bow, respect women." And then the lady knocks him out. The lady goes, "Thanks, Italian Spider-Man." He goes, "Bow, shut your mouth, pussycat, and make me a macchiato." And she's like, "Okay, Italian Spider-Man."
In the arms of the angel. And that woman turned out to be Jessica.
Yes. So, anyway, going back to the point of the story where we're at, she's at his house because she was mad because they were supposed to go out that night, and he wasn't there because he got kidnapped. But she don't know that, so she slaps him, and he starts to punch her, but he was like, I kind of deserve that. And they go in the house, and when they go in the house, they're in the kitchen, and all of a sudden they hear.
She told him outside that her uncle got kidnapped.
Yeah. And so he's like, okay, we're gonna figure this out. Go inside the house, and they hear like a growl or whatever, and he's like, "Oh, crocodilo," and it's a clip of a crocodile.
That was actually earlier in the movie when he was in the bed with the women. When he got out the bed, he heard that and fought the crocodile in.
No.
Mhm.
No.
Yeah.
That was later.
Mm-mm.
That was earlier.
Yeah.
So anyway, again, going back, there's a clip of a crocodile, like footage of a crocodile just out walking out of the swampy water, and then after it shows that clip, it cuts to a full-grown man in a crocodile suit, like it's the head of a crocodile. You can see his face, and he's got like a mask like Italian Spider-Man does, so I think it's red. And he's holding a gun, and he basically holds him up at gunpoint, and then Italian Spider-Man whoops him up. But it was just random.
Had nothing to do with nothing. When they go in the house, that's when the snakes are attacking them going through the hallway. They're looking for the uncle.
Yeah. So, once again, rubber snakes are attacking, hanging from strings. He's karate chopping them or whatever, still smoking. Where he got the cigarette from, I don't know. But smoking, attacking. And then Captain Maximum's goons are there. They knock him out, don't they? I don't remember. Somehow they get Jessica. They had to have knocked him out. Somehow they get Jessica. And, yeah, they get Italian Spider-Man again. And he wakes up, and he's in their lair.
And he's like, "Italian Spider-Man, welcome to my home."
And he tells him he's got the professor. He holds up the big snake, turns him back into the professor. Tells the professor, like, I need you to extract the formula from the asteroid or whatever. Professor does it. All he does is put the syringe in the asteroid, pulls out the blue juice.
Some juice.
And he's like, all right, give it to my henchman. Gives it to his henchman.
Like, injects it in him.
Yeah, injects it in him. And, the henchman duplicates into, like, 7 people or whatever. And he was like, good. Now you've done that, I don't need you anymore. Pulls out his gun, a revolver, and shoots him like minimum of 17 times.
Several times more than a revolver shoots.
And like, you see all the little squib shots.
Cheese.
And he goes into like a wall of boxes that were conveniently stacked. And then had the nerve to get to the point where the revolver was empty, and he's just click. And I was like, that should have happened 37 shots ago.
So many times already.
So then Italian Spider-Man's like, no. You find out he has yet another power. There's a spider that's crawling on the wall. This is the first spider-related power he has. His little like tarantula or whatever on the wall. He commands it Aquaman style to jump onto another henchman's face, and he breaks out. They get into a fight or whatever.
Now he gets super strength.
Yeah.
Super chopping strength.
Yeah, he chops this dude's head clean off, and it's just the neck, and it's squirting blood, Kill Bill style. And he's
like
watching him as the blood squirts until the body falls over. Then he walks away to continue beating up other people. Snakes are flying, calamity ensues or whatever. He rescues Jessica. They get out. They bring the professor with them for whatever reason. And he's like, Professor, no. And he's like, yes, Italian Spider-Man. I'm dying. Professor, pow! Punches the professor in the face. And he's like, oh.
like, no.
No, you're not dying. I was like,
Yes, I am.
I was like, he was dying, and he's dying faster now because you done punched the man in the face. And he's telling him like, take care of Jessica. Here, I saved some of the formula. You got to use this to beat Maximum or whatever. He's like, no. Pow, punches him again. He punches him like 3 times before he finally like hangs his head and dies. And Italian Spider-Man and Jessica run off, and henchmen are coming.
It's like they rode off into the sunset, but the movie wasn't over yet. And
Yeah.
then the next scene was them somewhere else, and you could hear people screaming outside. And they looked outside, and somehow Captain Maximum is a giant now. What did he do to become a giant when he was walking through the city?
He took the stuff.
Why did it turn him into a giant instead
I don't
of
know.
multiplying? Huh?
I don't know. But yeah, so he's giant, and Italian Spider-Man takes his giant drink, and he becomes giant, and it does a Rocky. Was it 1 or 2?
The one with Apollo.
They both got Apollo. It's
not that scene though.
It's the one where they do the ding ding, and they go to punch, and you don't know what happens. It's a freeze frame, and then the movie's over.
It says says
part 2
to be continued.
To be continued.
But it doesn't say to be continued. That's their made up language still.
Yeah, never. Part 2 never exists. Like I said, this is a 2007 movie. I would like to see part 2, but I don't think it's ever coming.
I don't think they intended on it being a part 2 for real.
But yeah, that's Italian Spider-Man.
Yep.
We loved it. It's great. It's great. I love it.
100% Nacho Libre, Black Dynamite, and James Bond combined.
I mean, you got the level of jokes from Nacho Libre, the fact that it's luchadors like throughout it for Nacho Libre. You got the faux, this was made back in the day shooting style. I mean, they did a really good job of doing like the grain and the fuzziness and the color desaturation and all of that. And like I'm cool to the nth degree, Black Dynamite level, and then you got, the eye patch, and I've got master plans to take over the world, James Bond stuff and car chases and
a Bond
all
girl.
of that stuff, a Bond girl. But yeah, so kudos to that guy. It's on YouTube if you guys want to watch it. It's probably some other places, but we watched it on YouTube. It should be the first thing that pops up, Italian Spider-Man. And yeah, we have told many of people about Italian Spider-Man. So far, one person has watched it.
Are, for some reason, not taking us up on it.
I don't know, man. We have great taste.
Watch this movie.
Especially if you love Black Dynamite. Like, if you love Black Dynamite, you'll love Italian Spider-Man.
Yeah.
You love Nacho Libre, you'll love Italian Spider-Man. I'm not a big James Bond fan, but I love Italian Spider-Man.
I was gonna say, I don't know about if you like James Bond, you'll love Black Dynamite.
If you like James Bond,
you say Black Dynamite.
you probably won't like Italian Spider-Man, but that's neither here nor there. What are you rating Italian Spider-Man?
I would give Italian Spider-Man 4 Cowboy Ninjas out of 5.
I would also give Italian Spider-Man 4 Cowboy Ninjas out of 5 for an average of 4 Cowboy Ninjas out of 5. So yeah, check it out. Please let us know what you think about it. If you ain't got nothing else to do, you need a laugh, whether to laugh at the movie or to laugh at us for liking this movie. Give it a watch. Yeah, win's a win. So again, first suggested movie review. You can thank Esteban979 for this. You got problems, go take it out with him on his channel.
In his comments.
Let him know that this video sent you to him, and you hate him. So if you like this video, please do us a favor and like, share, subscribe, tell friends about us so they can subscribe, and be on the lookout for more actual movie reviews that are on the 1001 movie list. We got another one coming up that we got to do that we just watched last night, I think. So we'll be doing that. So be on the lookout for that. But this has been another episode of Team Tatum Movie Reviews. I'm Will,
I'm Elise.
and we have been Team Tatum.
Pew.